Here you can see ancient cultures from 3000 years before Christ in a simplified way. Also, the Balkans are not mapped, due to scientists did not excavated or unearthed all the possible sites to being able to map the Danubian culture, i.e. ancient Bulgarian culture, which was on Balkans and around Danube River. Such are archaeological sites like Vincha, Varna, Karanovo, Mangia and the Balkans. Although the Balkans culture was from 4000 before Christ. Here you can see the possible migrations to other continents and forming other cultures or civilizations. You can see that Yamnaya culture have migration to the territory of Pennsylvania and the Romania on the Balkans, close to Pannonia, that was about 2700 before Christ. Also migrated to the today central Greece. Other migrations are in today Turkey, France, Germany, and British Islands, even in Scandinavia. Now the genes of different European countries will be compared with the genes of Bulgarians, and some explanation will follow. Here is the genetics in the table of Balkans and the table. Bulgarian genetics is every 1 or 2 countries, to easy compare. So from the first page we know that the red-haired genetics is the haplogroup R1b1 Ronabone, known to be the Yamnaya culture, i.e. the today Ukraine and Russia territories, and the blonde genetics is the R101 Rone1, known to be the corded ware culture, in today France, Germany, Poland and east to Russia including, but north to Yamnaya. Comparing Macedonia and Bulgarian genetics, we can see that the Macedonians have more from the Quarrel I2 genes and less from blonde and red-haired. Also more J2, which is considered from India, the rest are the same. Quite a similar is the Romania compared to Bulgarian genes. We can see the E1b, 1b on a boneb. The genes associated with ancient Egypt are more in Bulgarian than Romanian. The rest is more in those 3 genes differences, blonde, red-haired and I2, so not to repeat will not mention that anymore. So comparing Turkey and Bulgarian we can see that the E1b, 1b on a boneb is more in Bulgarian as expected, but the rest is same as others. The red-haired as mentioned the migration is more than the Bulgarian, but the blonde is less. That is because no migration in the past before Christ, and neither later. Spain has more red-haired genes. That is due to the migration and also the Visigoths that destroyed the West Roman Empire and migrated there. But the people was both red-haired and Bulgarian genetics, as the genetics of the Visigoths. Visigoths are considered Bisai, i.e. Vesi or Visi, considered red-haired, and the Goths that was people from the Balkans known as Getae, and renamed by Gallian to Goths. Differences between the Bulgarian and Greece is the same like the Turkey that also reflects the migration of Yamnaya to Greece in the past as mentioned. Please like and subscribe, also share to spread the truth and the freedom. Comparing Germany and Bulgarian genes. We can see similar to differences with the Spain, the E1, B1, BE, 1B Onaboneb is as mentioned more in Bulgarian, and much less in Germany as expected. There are much less in blonde genes, as expected, also in E2 genes, which is considered the Illyrian genes. There is more in J2 in Bulgarian, that is related to India. Also in G, but in general differences are mostly in the red-haired genes. That is to be expected, due to the Yamnaya migration. Hungary have more in the blonde genes, and that is expected due to the location of the ancient corded ware culture, but also in the red-haired due to migration, the others are to be expected. We already see a pattern, that there is Bulgarian genetics in the set of E1, B, 1B on a boneb, and J2 to be more, and not much but in the middle of blonde and red-haired genes. The Italy we can expect the migration of red-haired has more in the north genes and less in the south Italy, also much less in blonde. That is a surprise, due to the known that Veneti was in the northern Italy in the Roman times. But we also know that they moved. They was blonde people. We can also see that Sicily have more from the E, 1B, 1B, and Onaboneb James II's from the ancient Egypt, like close to Bulgarian. So we can conclude that close to Africa, the E1B, 1B, Onaboneb genes are more, but Bulgarians are having more of it than the northern Greece, and that should be due To the migration Bulgarians from around the Black Sea. Also the J2 says that genes come from India, and that is going to be another video, how Bulgarians made India. Please like and subscribe, also share to spread the truth and the freedom.